7 breaking news.
So before we had a flag and
We begin with this breaking news. A person of interest in custody for the deadly shooting of Charlie Kirk. The conservative activist killing now being called a targeted attack, a political assassination. Thank you for joining us. I'm Monique Minglavin.
And I'm Elle Thomas. So Kirk was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. We know he died shortly thereafter, just 31 years old.
The shooting just before noon today at Utah Valley University. That is just south of Salt Lake City. And Kirk speaking at a Prove Me Wrong event when a single fatal shot was heard. The crowd scatters and Kirk collapses.
We do have team coverage for you tonight while investigators try to piece together what exactly happened and why. Deborah Horn is at UW asking the university what security measures are in place for political speakers and if it changes their view on bringing them to campus.
But first, let's begin with Taureen Small with the latest from the White House.
It happened in broad daylight at an event at Utah Valley University. As Charlie Kirk addressed the crowd, a single fatal shot was fired.
I hear up top, I just saw him grab, it looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere, and his eyes kind of rolled back.
This video shows security rushing 31-year-old Charlie Kirk to the hospital. The panicked crowd ran for cover.
It's traumatizing, it scares. I don't even want to go to school tomorrow.
President Trump confirmed the death on Truth Social. Kirk was a rising star in conservative politics and a fierce ally of the president's. He was a co-founder of Turning Point USA, which advocates for conservative politics on university campuses. Well known to CBS News chief Washington analyst Bob Costa.
I have covered Charlie Kirk for a long time, have spoken to him at so many political events over the years. This is someone who has galvanized conservatives across the country. He is seen as someone who was really able to gather the Trump movement, especially those under 30, and make them into a force.
Students streamed off campus as news spread, and from both sides of the political spectrum, lawmakers condemned the shooting, calling for an end to political violence. Taureen Small, CBS News, Washington.
Lots of reaction on social media. Former Arizona Congresswoman and mass shooting survivor Gabby Giffords writing, Democratic societies will always have political disagreements, but we must never allow America to become a country that confronts those disagreements with violence.
And closer to home, Governor Bob Ferguson taking to Twitter saying, quote, violence is never the answer. There is no place in our democracy for political violence, and I condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk in the strongest terms.
And Eastern Washington Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner weighing in, writing, political violence must be rejected and its perpetrators brought to swift justice.
Now, just a year and a half ago, Charlie Kirk was a featured speaker at the University of Washington here in Seattle.
And the conservative activist spoke to a couple hundred students gathered around a tent in Red Square, much like the situation in Utah today.
So continuing our team coverage now, KIRO 7's Deborah Horn joining us live at the University of Washington campus. And Deborah, there were protests, but no violence.
Protests, Elle, for sure, but as you said, there was no violence here. Now, the students we talked to here at the University of Washington are surprised Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in Utah, a conservative state. Charlie Kirk held court on the UW campus on May 7th, 2024, seeking to engage with students from a tent, much as he did in Utah today. The UW Daily estimated a couple hundred people stood by and listened, some questioning Kirk. We talked to some students today about the shooting that has now claimed his life.
Hey, Utah, I wouldn't really expect that in all places because I feel like it's kind of more a red state. It's kind of a place for him to be at. It was really shocking. I mean, not many people around here shared his political views.
To be honest, I didn't really share his political views either, but it is very, considering where it happened, and I heard his wife and his kids were watching as well. It can be very intense.
Now, this is the protest that happened at UW in 2024, including students protesting the war in Gaza. Well, since this deadly shooting happened on a college campus, it necessarily raises the issue of student safety. We've been talking to UW administrators here about this issue. We'll have that part of this story for you tonight at 5. For now, reporting live in Seattle, Deborah Horn, KIRO 7 News.
And of course, back in 2017, there was a shooting in Red Square on UW's campus. campus during a political event. Far-right speaker Milo Yiannopoulos hosting an event then when supporters and protesters started clashing. A 32-year-old man was shot in the stomach. Police later confiscating multiple weapons from the crowd after that shooting. This political violence is troubling, but it is not new.
Back in June, 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses were shot in their homes. Molotov cocktails and a flamethrower were used in an attack at a demonstration in Boulder, Colorado. And in Pennsylvania, an arsonist burned down the governor's home with he and his family inside. These attacks all in the last year.
We will, of course, continue to cover the story throughout the night. And as we learn more, we will have more on the search for the shooter and the motive at 5 o'clock.
Well, now